Hi everybody, welcome to the Deluise Book Series channel. I'm Christina, Kristina Deluse. And I found this book and it's Solving Murder Mysteries with Genealogy. And oh, and since I'm a genealogist, I thought this would be really interesting. So the first one, it's a small little series. Murder Once Removed. Genealogist Lucy Lancaster loves nothing more than tracking down her client's long dead ancestors, and her job has never been so exciting as when she discovers a daguerreotype photograph and a journal proving Austin, Texas billionaire Gus Halloran's great-great-grandfather was murdered back in 1849. What's more, Lucy is able to tell Gus who was responsible for his ancestor's death. Partly at least using clues from the journal, Lucy narrows down the suspects to two 19th-century Texans, one of whom is the ancestor of present-day U.S. Senator Daniel Applewhite. But when Gus publicly outs the senator as the descendant of a murderer, with the accidental help of Lucy herself, and her former co-worker is murdered protecting the daguerreotype, Lucy will find that shaking the branches of some family truths seem to be more twisted and dangerous than she ever thought possible. And then some people are murdered. She's attacked a few times. She spends quite a bit of time in a library, going back and forth. Those are the interesting parts of the book. Those are the parts I enjoyed. Those are the parts that I really, really enjoyed, the digging and the researching, because I'm a researcher. And if you got anything from the other book I did on apothecary murder the other day, you know that I am happy in a library, in a courthouse with the old books, 11 by 17. That's my thing. And the second one, Lineage Most Lethal. It's the week before New Year's Eve, and genealogist Lucy Lancaster is ready to mix work and play at the beautiful Hotel Sutton, enjoying herself while finalizing the presentation for her latest client, hotel heiress Pippa Sutton. When Lucy shows the fountain pen to her great-grandfather, an avid collector and World War II veteran, she's in for another shock. Not only does Grandpa believe the Montblanc, he also reveals a secret. He was an Allied spy during the war, and the pen is both a message regarding one of his wartime missions and the key to reading a micro dot left by a dead man. Interesting. And Fatal Family Ties. Lucy is just about to tuck in a basket of tacos at her favorite Austrian eatery, Big Flacos Tacos, when she gets an unexpected visit from her not-so-favorite former co-worker. Camelia Braithwaite is brandishing a magazine feature on her ancestor Charles, a Civil War corporal who went on to gain fame speaking about his war experiences. The article alleges Charles was a liar and never fought in the war. So Lucy's got to do the genealogy to prove that. So, speaking of genealogy, and our books here by S.C. Perkins. If you love genealogy, you gotta love these books because you'll love research. So I just wanted to show this to you real quick. I don't know how much you can see. That's a pedigree chart. And what you want to do is get all of your vital records together for yourself, put them in, make copies or whatever, put them in a Lucy binder, but then take the real originals and put them in a safe or something for yourself. And then if your parents are still living, get their vital documents too, birth, marriage, find them in the census records, find out vital records, marriage records, birth and death dates for all their siblings, find their documents if you can, find out where they lived when they were born, investigate, use land records, census records, vital records, newspapers. People put marriage and birth records in the paper a lot in the especially prior to 1950. And the further back you go, you have census records, you have land records, you have tax records. Early tax records from the 1780s also shows slave names too. So you start with yourself, and then your parents, and then their parents. If these people all alive, get all of their dates of birth, copies of their vital documents, birth documents, marriage documents, confirmation, baptisms, confirmations, all those kind of documents. Get lots of pictures, as many pictures, generational pictures as you can, gather them all up. They're always helpful. They'll be family keepsakes forever. Make yourself a book. One, you can do a book for each branch of your family, for the male side, for the female side, or each surname. But just to get very basically started, just use your little pedigree chart here. It's a little white, you can't really see it. But fill in your information, your parents' information, their parents' information. If they're deceased, go to the cemetery, take pictures of the cemetery, write to the cemetery, see who's buried with them. Newspapers, obituaries are fantastic for information. Marriage announcements in the 50s and 60s and 70s, those were big, huge things. Go to the census records, the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, 10s. There were also school census records, if you didn't know. New York State kept police census records. Some states collected the censuses for localities in between the census years. The big issue is the big fire in 1890 where all of it was burned. Oh, there's also church records. Go to the church and get the marriage records. The further back you go, you're going to need those church records. Newspapers. And if you can't find a death certificate, or you don't know what your grandparents' names were when they deceased, find the marriage record. That will give you the grandmother's maiden name. And then you'll be able to search. And depending on which state and which county and circumstances, sometimes the marriage was recorded once at the state level, once at the county level, and once at the town level or city level, and sometimes also with church. If the church still exists, if they still have records back then, they may have given copies to libraries and stuff. Oh, check with the libraries. They're great for information. Ancestry.com, FamilySearch.com, they're free. Well, not Ancestry, but Family Searches. Genealogy.com. There's a whole bunch of websites. I used to have a website, but due to financial circumstances, I had to get rid of it. But I would definitely check out these books. They're good reading if you're into genealogy, if you like genealogy. I never thought, it's possible. We did. We discovered accidentally on the Deluise side, well, the female side of the Deluise side, the maternal side, that an ancestor had murdered his wife, and he ended up at the Staten Island farm colony, and that's where he died. It's a really interesting story. It's printed in the front page of the New York Times. It was awesome. But you never know what you're going to find. I had ancestors elope. Sometimes if your ancestors got divorced, go look for the divorce records. Adoption records, the law is different from state to state, but definitely give it a try. And I just wanted to show you real quick. I know for this is Virginia, so you're from another state, sorry, but this is what a marriage bond would look like, each one of these small ones. And then there are licenses. There are a license and permit to join you together in the holy state of matrimony according to the rules and ceremonies of your church and the laws of this Commonwealth. And then one of the first forms for marriage license is there. the date of marriage, the place of marriage, the parties involved, their age, whether they were single, married, or widowed, place of birth, husband's parents, wife's parents, occupation. Later on, it got a little more specific to place of birth and ages and where you lived when you were born and where you live now. Your parents' place of your parents' names. 1867. So definitely newspapers, land records, court records, the amount of information in the court order books is unbelievable. Businesses, marriages, divorce, well, not divorces, but widowedness, deaths, births, business partnerships, if they participated in, they were a captain or military rank of any kind, if they held any office in the city council, or there's tons and tons of records. It differs from state to state to state and country to country to country. Some states have earlier records, some states don't. Some places in the state may have kept records, some places in the state didn't. It all depends, but newspapers are gold mines for information if you can find them, if they didn't have fires. Courthouses, records that have not been digitized yet. It's fascinating. It's so much fun when you discover new people. It's so fascinating going to cemeteries and seeing the tombstones if they still exist. It's really, really fascinating. And these are really good PG, really light reading. Every once in a while, it kind of slows down with the individual interactions between the characters. Because I'm a library person, and I was with the library and the genealogy and the microfilm machines and the investigations and putting all the clues together. So I wasn't much for the socialization of the books, but that matters because of the character development from book to book. If you're a series person, that's gonna matter. But definitely check these out. These are cool. They're cute. But like I said, I'm a genealogist, so you want to start with gather your documents, then your parents' documents and their parents' documents, and if you continue on forever, you should have 64 great great grandparents when you're finished, and tons of cousins and a whole bunch of stuff. It's really fun. Try it, check it out. These are cute books. These are really cute books. And who names their cat Neil Patrick Harris? I do not know. There are some people probably did. But it's fun. It's cute. It's enjoyable. 2-hour read tops, 2.5 hours each book. They were fun. They really were. And it teaches you about history too, because think about it. Learning about history of your country, of your state is interesting, but learning about your own personal history should be huge. That's what genealogy is. Learning about your own personal history. Not the guy down the street, not the country, not the state, not your personal history. Where you came from, where your parents came from, where they went to school, how they did in school. Do they still have their report cards? Ooh, wouldn't that be fun to see? Pictures. Gather your pictures while your grandparents are alive. Ask those questions. Get that information from them. It's so important and so vital. And if you don't do it now, you may regret it later. But definitely, absolutely enjoy these books. I have a ton more to do and read. And but definitely check these out. They're really cute. They take place in Texas, but it's really fun. You learn some Texas history too. Take some time, enjoy the series, and definitely check out your genealogy, learn your history. And please like and subscribe. It's really important. I'm not fancy. I can't do all the stuff that everybody else does. I can't point and go, oh look, subscribe button or bell or inch. I know nothing. I'm just talking about books. And my pal here, it likes talking about books too. There's you. She likes the books too. She's a good girl. Come here, Smokey. Come, come, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Say hi. Tell these people to go research their genealogy and read the good books. What do you think? Yeah. All right. Go on. Go on. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It means so much to me. Thank you.